today we're going to do notes and assignment all in one. Typically we don't do that, but it's a really small set of notes. Right, so it's not going to take us very long to do it. And we're actually going to go in backwards order. So instead of starting with the first page of notes, we're going to start off with the back page of notes. Okay, so flip over the back. We'll do a couple of questions in the back, and we'll flip over and do some stuff in the front. Flip it over. Yeah. Look at the second page. All right, look at this page. All right, so we're combining elementary dividing with integers. All right, so you're used to dividing numbers. 12 divided by 6. What number do you get? Don't worry about the sign. What's 2, right? The next part is to worry about the signs, right? You had a positive 12 divided by a negative 6. Would that be a positive 2 or would that be a negative 2? Negative 2. Because it follows the same rules as multiplying. Right? So we discussed the rules for multiplying. If you have a positive and a positive, it doesn't matter if you're multiplying or you're dividing, the answer is positive. Right? If you have a negative and a negative, right? The signs are the same, it's positive. But if the signs are different, just like multiplying, positive and negative and positive, the answer is negative. Right? Negative, negative, right? So, dividing just like you did in elementary school. The signs, just like we learned a couple of classes ago, right? You're just combining the two things together. So, step 1, divide the numbers. Step 2, figure out if it's positive or negative. So, 20 divided by 4. What number is that? Sorry? I heard somebody say it over there. What's 20 divided by 4? 5. Thank you so much. But then we have a positive and a negative. So, negative. Thank you so much. Not too bad. So, that's why this is quick, right? So, 40 divided by 5. 8, right? And remember, if you're not good with dividing, you can use your multiplication chart, right? You look up this. You go, 5 fits into 40. How many times? Hold on. All right, so remember, if you're not good at dividing, use your multiplication chart. You look at the second number. 5 times something is 40. So you grab your multiplication chart, which is right at the very back, right? You go like this, right to the very back, right? You look at 5s, you find your 40, it's 8, it's an 8 times, right? If you're not used to your dividing, use your multiplication chart. So go back, here we go. All right, so now, positive or negative? Positive, 2 negatives make a positive, done. Remember, if it's positive, you don't have to show me the plus sign. I prefer actually if you don't. It kind of gets in the way, right? 60 divided by 15. You may need a calculator for this. Or not a calculator, your multiplication chart. 4. Nicely done. Fits in 4 times. 15 fits into 60 4 times. All right. A positive and a negative makes a, Lucas? Negative. Oh, you've got them down. Excellent. All right. All right. Last 2 ones. 6 divided by 0 and 0 divided by 10. 0. I hear a lot of zeros being said. 1 of those answers is right for 1 of the questions. So 0 is right for this one. But it isn't right for the other one. It's not just 6 either.
7?
It isn't 7.
What? Is it 1?
It isn't 1.
3. It's just 6.
It isn't. So let's go into what this means. All right?
Oh.
We have 0. Let's do F first. We have 0 things put into 10 groups. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are my 10 groups. How much is inside each group? Nothing. So that's why the answer is nothing. Now the other one, we have 6 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we want to put them in 0 groups. That's not possible. Right? We have 6 things. We have to put in some groups. So the answer for this is not possible. Right? We can't have any groups with missing stuff in it. Right? Like that's just, we have 6 things. We have 6. They need to go somewhere. So that's why you can't ever divide by 0. It's okay to have a 0 on the top or the first number. You can't have a 0 on the second number. Right? Because you need a spot for the 6 things to go into. Alright? That's a tricky one. So dividing by 0, not possible. Alright. So now, on our assignment, I'm going to ask you to do 2-word problems. Let's just do one for now here. Alright? It says one night the temperature emission was falling by 2 degrees each hour. How many hours did it take for the temperature to drop to 10 degrees? Yes.
5 hours.
5 hours. How did you do that, Carl?
I don't know.
Alright. Sorry, Ryder?
E equals MC squared, that's what you use.
Oh, no. Lucas?
Just count it by 2s.
So you can count by 2s, right? Now, counting by 2s is also like multiplying, right? So you can say 2 times something equals 10, right? Yes?
Divide 10 by 2.
Well, that's the other way. So that something must be a 5, okay? Now, or you can do what Marcus said. It dropped by 10 degrees. And it was dropping by 2 degrees each time. So 10 divided by 2 or 10 divided by 2 like this means the same thing. Remember, a fraction and dividing means the same thing. Equals 5. Okay? So that's a quick and easy way of doing it. Now, technically, what I wrote down there is not 100% correct. Right? So we're talking about integers. So some of these numbers are positive. Some of these numbers are negative. Right? It said the temperature is dropping by 2 degrees each hour. That should have been a positive 2. That should have been a negative 2. Right? And it fell to 10 degrees. Right? So that means it was a negative 10. Right? So that must have been a positive 5. Right? So that's the extra little stuff that goes in here. Same thing here, right? It was dropping by 2 degrees. That should have been a negative number, right? It dropped by 10 degrees. 2 negatives make a positive. So extra little things to think about. I'm not going to be that picky with you guys when you do the word problems right now because I know word problems are challenging themselves, right? But I want you to think about that too. Is it a positive number? Is it a negative number? I think for the most part, you guys will be pretty good with these calculations, right? Where you're going to struggle is on the first page. That's why I saved it to the end. So let's go to the first page. Right? So now the first page is, hey, can you look at a diagram and come up with the math statement that goes with it? And students struggle with this so much. And it usually shows up as multiple choice questions or tests. Hey, what does this diagram mean? And students struggle with that a lot. So let's look at this line first, right? So this line right here represents a division, right? So now let's talk about a division statement. A division statement has 3 parts to it, right? So it usually looks like this. We have a number divided by another number, and it equals your value, right? That's what a division statement looks like. So we gotta look at this diagram and sort of figure out what are those 3 parts, right? Okay. I think the orange is usually the easiest one to do. Right? So the orange is like, hey, we're dividing it into this many groups, right? That's what the dividing is how many we divide into this many groups. So how many groups do you think are in here? What's your guess? Right? What do you think? Like, this is weird. This is abstract, right? What do we have here? We have a line with an arrow on it with a line and a half like this. Right? Looking at this thing, is it broken up into groups? That's what that little line here is. This is like broken up into a group here, a group here. So this line is broken up into two groups. That's what this number is. Right? The line is broken up into two groups. Then what is broken up into two groups? Well, that line. How big is that line? Oh, that is goes to -10. So that line is -10. That -10 line is broken up into two groups. Then finally, what is a division statement? Well, how many are in each group? Right? So you can probably do the calculation in your head, but from the diagram is how much is inside each group? How big is each part? This is what you're going to struggle with the most, right? How big is each part? Right? You count it. This one goes from 0 ends at -5. And this ends at -10. So each piece is 5 long going negative. So this is -5. -5. Right? So that's how we're going to draw our division statements. Right? For number lines. I thought I'd give you one question like that on the quiz just to practice with it. Because it's one of the things you're forced to do. We're not going to do too many of these kind of things. Right? So let's practice it over here. So we have our three parts. Let's try to use the same colors here. Let's go blue, orange, green. Divide and equals. All right. How many groups is our line broken up into?
4.
4. And thank you, Jasper. Right? Let's count it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. How long is our line? That's a blue, right? How big is our line? We just divided up to 4 pieces. How long is how long is the line? 12. And it's +12 this time. Right? And finally, how big is each piece here? Oops. Ooh. How big is each little piece? Part 3. Each of these are positive. That's it. Okay? So now, see if you can do this one by yourself. I'll write up the answer in a second. So you have our 3 parts. That, divide, that, equals that. I give you a couple second head start, and I'll put it up the answer of it. So you can come up with that division statement. Okay? Right. Right? Hopefully you can do that part. It should be -10 divided into 2 groups is equal to -1. Yes. I'll lend you one, right? Here you go. Yeah. That's it. Now, another way that it can come up as diagrams is with these integer chips. And there's 2 ways to look at it. you can have 8 things. They can be divided into groups of 2, right? And there are 4 groups. Or you can say I have 8 things and then divide them into 2 groups. And the answer becomes how much is inside of each group. There's 4 inside of each group. Either way, it comes up with the same answer. So on the very first page of the assignment, it's got a whole bunch of questions like this with diagrams. If you don't like the diagram stuff, just do the calculation like we did in the second side of the page. Okay? That's it for today's, right? And the extent